Hi traders, this is Forex Nelson and I'm back again today with another 7 trades. Today's date is November the 16th and I'm using my new Trigger Zones trading system. I have found the magic indicator, and this is the magic indicator right here. It's the Trigger Zone, TZ for short. The reason I call it is magic indicator because that put on top of the timing indicator will pinpoint the entries for buying and selling. It actually catches and helps you to find the beginning of the up and down cycles within the market. You can easily trade all 3 sessions 24 hours a day. I call that the flow of the market. This system as a whole, I would call it the Holy Grail trading system. That's what I call it. And what would you call it if you were getting 200 to 500 pips a day? I haven't done the calculations on the pips and ticks, but I'm sure at this point it is well over 300 pips. Now, before I took each and every one of these trades, starting at 6 o'clock this morning, between 6 and 7 approximately, I was doing my daily trade plan, drilling down the lights from the monthly all the way down to the 30 minutes, and then I stop at the 15, pop in the arrow, depending if I'm buying or selling, just to remind me which way I want to be trading according to the higher time frames. If you are not trading positive every day, I highly recommend that you get your hands on the daily trade plan, at least until you can figure out how you drill down the lights the way I do it. I've done the work for you. So now we can get into these trades. Now, I didn't do all the trades. I think there was 21 altogether, and I only pulled out 7 that at the time I thought were the best 7. And as you can see, futures is leading the way as far as pip production. And this Russell was jumping around, and I tightened up my stop, and as it was jumping, it actually kicked me out with a small loss, which is fine. Still ended up getting over 300 pips, including this small loss. So let's see where I got in at. It was doing fantastic down here. I didn't catch it in time. I tightened up my stop as I didn't want to turn it into a big loser. But anyhow, it was watching the other pairs when it spiked back up. That's the way trading goes. At one point I was up 71 pips, which this would have been $7,000. But it's the way trading goes when you're doing 5 or 10 trades at a time. Hard to keep an eye on all of them at the same time. It looks like I lost about 7 pips here. And remember, on the Russell, each pip is worth $10, so that is why I lost $700. So this is a very good example of trade management. When you're positive, you have to tighten up your stop so that my stop originally was up here. And then, of course, I readjusted it to this mark right here. Anyhow, that's the way trading goes. Can't win them all, but if you're going to have losers, have small losers, and keep your winners nice and big, the way I do. Moving on to the next trade. Pound yen. After I drilled down the lights, I knew I wanted to be buying. Qualified for a great way to trade, as I teach within the training videos. Let's see where I got in at. I did tighten up my stop. Was here. Then I tightened it up to here. And I closed it out over here. Locking in 11 pips. And 11 pips on the pound yen paid $1,047. Moving on to the next trade, the Euro CAD. This one I sold it. There's the arrow. Higher time frames telling me going down. Let's see where I got in at. I waited for the pullback, followed the gold line here, the TZ, and that's your signal right there. It pinpoints exactly when you should be getting into the trade. Pull the trigger. Stop originally was here, 7 pips. I tightened it up to 3 pips, and I closed it out again, just being happy with 20 pips. And 20 pips on the Euro CAD paid out $1,595. Moving on to the last 4 here. Instruments. We'll start with the S&P 500 here. Let's see how that one worked out. After I drilled down the lights, there's the arrow. This is the way the market moves. Keep in mind a 10 or 20 pip stop on these instruments will not hold. S&P 500 pays $5 a pip. Did this move down and then continued on its way up at the opening bell right here, 9:30 a.m. New York opens at 8. Just in case you didn't know, news usually is around 8:30 here. That's for Forex. Opening bell for futures is 9:30 a.m. New York time. Took the trade here. I knew it was going to go up with 95% certainty. Did go against me. Let's see, 79 pips. Remember what I said, 10 or 20 pips will not hold. I used to struggle with futures because I used to keep a tight stop, and I kept losing trade after trade. But once you learn how to trade futures, you have to give it a bigger space or room to move. Close it out here, locking in about approximately, looks like 85 pips times 5 on the S&P 500. That paid out $4,250. Moving on to the Dow Jones. Let's see how that turned out. Another one that bring the data in the box properly. There's the arrow. I knew it was going to go up. Let's see where I got in at. Pulled the trigger here. Went mostly sideways. Sometimes with these futures, you have to sit around and wait. Didn't even go 1 pip against me. And finally it took off. Could have made a lot more. 172. Looks like I ended up getting around 100. 102. That would be about right. Keep in mind the Dow pays $5 a pip. So 102 times 5 times the lot sizes works out to be $5,100. Moving on to crude oil. Here's another one. After I drilled down the lights, I knew I wanted to be selling. There's the arrow. Everything is lining up perfectly. Let's see where I got in at. I waited. This one I waited until I got the signal. There it is. Don't you just love this holy grail trading system? This TZ indicator pinpoints exactly where you should pull the trigger. Look at that. Everything is perfect. TZ is going down. Got in here and I closed it out, just being happy. Looks like with about 67 pips. That would be correct, as each pip is worth $10. And 67 pips on the crude oil paid $6,700. The Nasdaq, got to be careful with this one because it does pay $20 a pip. Here we go. I knew that I was going to be buying. Market decided to do this, but that's just the market. It's very random. So let's see where I got in at. I knew I wanted to be buying. Did this huge move back. Remember, 10 or 20 pips will never hold. But once you know that you want to be buying, well, you can withstand things like this. That's 48 pips. It's not too bad anyhow. A lot of traders will put in a 10 or 20 pip stop, which is what I used to do. But I learned after many trades, you got to give it more pips. Anyhow, I closed it out here being happy with around 51 it looks like. Could be 52. That would be more on target. 52 pips times 20 times 10. That's why on the Nasdaq it paid the most, which is $10,400. So another great day of trading. I wasn't too far off when I said earlier that it's going to be at least 300 pips and ticks. Today's, I just did the math, added everything up, including this negative 7 pips here. I ended up getting 330 pips to the good. And those 330 pips paid $28,392. So if your system is not producing on a daily basis like my trigger zone system, I suggest you get your hands on it. And to do so, all you got to do is get more information. And to do that, all you got to do is look right below this video and you'll see this write-up. My trigger zone system, I do charge $250 for it. I teach how to trade the flow of the market, the up and down cycles, and that's exactly what the trigger zone does. If you don't learn how to trade that way, the flow of the market I call it, you will never succeed at trading. My trigger zone system has over 5 gigabytes of training, and you'll get an exact copy of my system on your MT4 platform. Included is 6 MT4 templates, 8 custom indicators, and my favorite meter. Now I threw in a lot of PDF books, a lot of Word documents, and 9 bonus videos. This is just all bonus stuff that should help you to succeed at trading the markets. Now there's a lot of ways to trade. I do teach a lot of ways to trade. That's why there's 50 training videos. My number one way is a great way to trade. And 9 out of 10 trades, approximately, of course, when I'm taking a trade, it does qualify for a great way to trade. Now, due to the fact short on time, you can put the video on pause, read all the different ways that I teach on how to trade the markets. If you have any questions whatsoever, simple. All you got to do is pick up the phone and call me. Here's my number. If you live too far, simple again. All you got to do is send me an email. Remember, there's an underscore here. Now, I really do prefer Skype. All you got to do is click on this link right here. And we'll have Skype connection. And through Skype screen sharing, I'll give you a free session, show you whichever trigger system you want to see, give you some tips and tricks. And I do all of that with no obligation to you. So, you know what to do. Now, if you click on this link right here, you'll see 35 screenshots of all the trigger systems I've been building over the years. So that just about wraps up this video. And if you like the video, please give it a thumbs up and please subscribe to my YouTube channel. So, until the next day of trading and video, good luck with your trading and remember to keep yourself and your family safe. Okay, bye for now.